All right, the influences behind our song Consignation. So, as a jazz song, I think this is probably one of the larger deviations experimentally from our, you know, main sound. In fact, when I brought this song first to our bandmates, I definitely got some eyebrows raised, and they're like, this doesn't really fit with our quote unquote sound, blues rock, hard rock, that sort of thing. Um, but I always found that weird in that if you listen to like a lot of the early pioneers of rock and roll, which a lot of that is like the direct influences of our band, um, they have tons of jazz rock influences and crossovers, right? If you're listening to like Cream, Jack Bruce and Ginger Baker, played jazz prior to the formulation of the band Cream, and a lot of that makes it into their sound. Doors, of course, are famously known for incorporating jazz. They have a main pianist as one of their members. Even a band like Sabbath, you listen to their first album, a lot of swing beats on that. So jazz and rock have always been strange bedfellows, but because jazz is an extension of the blues, rock is an extension of the blues, there's always been a lot of crossover. Now, I've never considered myself even close to anything like a true jazz player. In fact, most of my experience with jazz has been just cursory, although I would like that to change. I think it's an amazing, super interesting technical genre that really, you listen to any type of music that incorporates jazz, it adds a whole new level of complexity and dimension to it. But I'm not there yet. And I think this song, if truthfully speaking, is probably evident of that. A lot of it, instead of having like direct influences like a lot of my other songs are, a lot of this is just what I picked up from listening to other musicians and listening to jazz. And I do listen a lot to the music genre. Big fan of like early bebop, Davis, fucking Charlie Parker, Monk, and I think a lot of that early swing as well. But then also like, I like avant-garde, a lot of fusion, and then also, math rock, which, uses a lot of jazz influences as well. So I think those are like my cursory influences, but none of that really made it into this song. Mostly this is just my experimentation with, jazz coloring and more complex chord structures, and that sort of thing. And then even then it's very much just, simple chord structures laid over, a swing beat. And then a lot of the complex coloring comes from the piano and the woodwinds on top of that. So, definitely a unique take at, bringing in a new genre to add to the music style, but one that I'd love to explore more in the future.